Lifepatch will join us for a screening of Spectacular Healing, founded in 2012 in Yogyakarta. A citizen collective, not an art collective. You operate in and with cross-sections of art, science, and technology. The workshops you organize, and people can self-organize, are interested in learning by doing, do it yourself, and do it with others. And yeah, thank you for joining us today.
My name is Sita. I'm part of Lifepatch collective. So we have like 11 members, and we are kind of like mostly are in Jogja, but we are also like all over places in Indonesia. And also like for me myself now, I am now is pursuing my master degree in a program called History in the Public Sphere, which is a Erasmus Mundus joint master degree program. And it is a consortium. It is a consortium program by 4 different universities. But for this semester, I am in the Central Europe, in the Central European University at Budapest. Before pursuing my study, while also working with Lifepatch, I mostly work as a writer and also do some research in Yogyakarta. I also joined some of the research with Indonesian Visual Art Archive before. So yeah, that's basically it is. And I guess maybe Geger can go now.
Geger?
My name is Geger. I'm in Lifepatch, they call me also Agung. And I'm one of the co-founder or founder of Lifepatch. And my activity now, mostly I do my own like experiment in fermentation, especially in liquid or solid fermentations. You can say that I can say I'm like a fermentation enthusiast. Me with Lifepatch friend also doing like some workshop about how to make fermentation to all collective, to friends and another group of students and other group. And now I also, one of my activity is I am doing experiments with cacao beans, like how to make chocolate from cacao, because I have my parents have cacao tree, but before I don't know how to make chocolate from it. And now it's kind of start for me to make a research about how to make a chocolate bar with simple things. It is kind of a decolonization. The other activity I also with Lifepatch, but also with another collective like in alternative market with street art community, but also with bicycle group movement in Jakarta. I think it's like, okay. Maybe Timbil can go.
Thank you.
My name is Timbil. I'm also one of the co-founder of Lifepatch. Right now I'm doing baking. Now I learned how to make a bakery.
Timbil, I think we have a bit of difficulty understanding what you're saying, unfortunately, because of the connection. I'm not sure how to best go about it now.
Timbil is a farmer. He recently made a garden in the city with other friends in Lifepatch, but also with another community and collective in Jakarta, like young people and some artists also join with the community garden. I can say like that. But Timbil also very enthusiastic in fermentations. Like in the early of Lifepatch, we did many workshops with many groups and young people about how to make fermentations from tropical fruits and herbs and something like that. And Timbil also now doing like bakery thing. Like he really make a good roti or bakery.
Yeah, great. We're going to look at work you made with Lifepatch Collective in 2019, Spectacular Healing, produced and shown by Framer Framed as part of an exhibition curated by Sadia Boonstra last year on the nature of botanical gardens.
Tanaman-tanaman apa yang disebut medica materia medica ini, pengetahuan mengenai tanaman-tanaman itu banyak disimpan atau disimpan dan dikumpulkan oleh praktisi-praktisi lokal yang kebanyakan adalah perempuan, dan mereka misalnya disebut juga dukun, pawang gitu. Dan kalau si inventarisnya itu nggak dekat atau nggak bisa bicara dengan bahasa lokal gitu, mereka akan kesulitan untuk mendapatkan akses atas informasi ini. Kalau mau ngomongin tentang perspektif dekolonial, ngomongin tentang dari mana pengetahuan itu berasal, di teks ini kita bisa melihat orang-orang yang disebut pawang, dukun, para perempuan ini, mereka dihapuskan dari sejarah.
Aku cuman angan-angan saja, misalnya bentuk-bentuk pengobatan dalam hal ini dulunya tidak direpresi, apakah ada kemungkinan bahwa ya kita bisa tanya dukun dan macam-macam yang punya sumber informasi atau pengetahuan yang lain. Jadi kita nggak tanyanya ke dokter, tapi karena itu tadi sistemik dari 1600-an, 1700-an, jadi kita sekarang nggak bisa melakukannya itu.
Bagaimana apa yang disebut indigenous knowledge atau pengetahuan, penerjemahannya, pengetahuan masyarakat adat. Iya. Itu sebelumnya menubuh di dalam praktek, ingatan, dan ditransfer melalui ritual atau kegiatan di tempat itu. Usaha untuk mentransfernya ke tempat lain dan mendokumentasikannya itu datang dari si para penjajah ini yang berupaya untuk menjadikan itu sebagai komoditas ekonomi. Ada yang disebut dengan kondisi plant kapitalisme tanaman gitu. Bagaimana tanaman menjadi komoditas, dia dipertukarkan gitu. Dia masuk dan didistribusikan dalam jalur-jalur perdagangan yang berbeda. Ilmuwan dari Belanda atau dari Belanda tapi dari Portugis juga ya, karena melihat bahwa komoditas ini sangat bernilai, untuk mengklaim pengetahuan mereka atas komoditas itu, mereka berusaha membuat apa istilahnya kayak direktori itu loh, kayak pencatatan, kayak indeks, kayak yang disebut penjajahan. Itu tidak hanya ada orang asing atau apa yang disebut penjajah hadir di tanah terjajah dan ada kekerasan yang diberikan, tapi juga ada kekerasan yang disebut kekerasan epistemik gitu. Kekerasan ketika apa yang disebut, yang kita tahu itu sebagai pengetahuan, itu dipraktekkan dalam kehidupan sehari-hari, tidak dianggap sebagai pengetahuan. Perspektif dekolonial akan sangat berguna untuk membaca sejarah kapitalisme tanaman ini dan bagaimana pengetahuan lain atau pengetahuan alternatif ketika dibawa ke wilayah lain atau ke sebutlah barat gitu, dia menjadi komoditas, menjadi eksotik, menjadi barang yang unik, tapi tidak dilihat lagi sebagai pengetahuan yang bisa misalnya mengkritik cara pengetahuan mengenai obat diciptakan di Eropa gitu. Itu nggak ada gitu. Karena dia nggak dianggap sebagai pengetahuan setara, dia sebagai objek koleksi, sebagai hal yang unik kayak aku.
Mau sampai kapanpun kita mencoba untuk berjarak dari kata-kata eksotis, ketika kita di sana selalu akan ada gitu tuduhan-tuduhan bahwa kita eksotis gitu.
Ya aku sepakat karena aku pikir cara kita terkoneksi dengan budaya kita leluhur atau pengetahuan tradisi gitu loh. Dan kenapa itu dibilang eksotik, kadang-kadang aku gatel gitu loh.
Ada istilah yang sempat disebut sama Spiva tentang strategic essentializing. Jadi kita menggunakan kategori-kategori essentializing kayak eksotik, oriental gitu. Tapi secara strategis gitu. Strategisnya kenapa ya? Karena kita bukan tunduk sama kebutuhan si imperial, si kolonial atas representasi orang atau identitas orang Indonesia. Kita menggunakan atau yang disebut strategic essentialism menggunakan kategori-kategori apa yang dipahami sebagai eksotik, sebagai oriental, sebagai untuk mempertanyakannya, membongkarnya, menunjukkan gap, menunjukkan lubangnya gitu. Dan menurutku itu yang terus-menerus kita lakukan gitu.
Sita, thank you for joining us again. Would you like to maybe give some background information on how you made this work? It also relates to research you previously were working on Pustaha books that were booted from the Batak tribe in North Sumatra. So there's quite a lot of information in both. Maybe you can unfold it a bit for us.
Yep, sure. Thank you, Carol. So as you mentioned, like the idea of this work is actually we come along with the idea of like examining what is it like what's so called like planned capitalism or like what because like during our previous research back in 2017. Yeah, back in 2017, we went to North Sumatra for another project, which is it is a commissioned by Repatriation Art Festival, and then at that time we are invited to examine Museum Under Storm in Antwerp, Belgium collection of Hans Christoffel, where they kept quite extensive collection, which is loaded from North Sumatra back in the colonial time. And then during that research to kind of like finding different narratives. So from what is delivered by the museum, we went to North Sumatra and we talked to people. Basically what we doing that is like we just talk to people and try to collect, do like oral history methodology, more or less. So during our conversation with the community in North Sumatra, we learned about like one of the things that I guess like when, I don't know how to put it, but like when we talk about knowledge, like how people in the north part of the world and global like south part of the world, like global, yeah, like how like in terms of knowledge, like how people in the global south like they don't really write, but they are more like do like an oral tradition. But then like during our research, we learned from the people in North Sumatra that not really, like we have what we call as Pustaha, and then like in Pustaha we write a lot about like medical like things that related to medical healing, and like but also during the colonial time there are many of the Pustaha loot from us, and as the result of that, like we don't really have like tangible heritage when it comes to medication, for example. And that's when we start to think about that is something epistemic violence in our like, and how we see it, like how like people have like taking like knowledge from a community, and then like in a way like the community itself is kind of hard for them to have a foundation, like something that they can tangible things that they can always refer to, because like they don't have it right now.
Yeah.
Back there in North Sumatra. So yeah, that's it. That's like the first. That's basically like when. That's why when Sadia Bonstra invite us to join this exhibition, we try to elaborate more on this topic, and in doing so, we did. What we call as focus group discussion. So basically, the video that you watch it's based on our focus group discussion on this book called The East India Company and the Natural World. One of the chapter called Malay Indonesian Medicine and European Plant Science. So we talk among us, Lifepatch, and also we invite two colleagues from Kunci Cultural Kunci, which is a collective in Jogja, and we have this discussion. And as the visual, we try to document what is like quote unquote like a traditional healing practice across Jogja, which is include jamu making and also cupping and then needling, which is like if we trace back the history, it has something to do with also like Indonesia assimilation with other culture as well, like Chinese and so on and so forth. So yeah, basically that is I don't know, like yeah. I think like that's enough from me right now. Like if you have any other question, or like maybe Geger or Timbil want to add something.
Yeah, no, thank you for elaborating that. It's a quite extraordinary history where the Pustaha books containing knowledge of traditional medicine were looted and then turned into oral transmission in North Sumatra. How do you see your own role to be involved in repatriation and recovery and reclamation of such looted knowledge and their objects?
I want to share one of a postcard. It is written by a citizen or people from North Sumatra when we have the opportunity to study and research about the tribe in 2017. I'll try to share the translation of the postcard. It is written by them. So at that time, we make a blank postcard. The idea is people we met there. If they want to write something about their tribe, colonizations, words, about everything about the world, they can write everything. And one of the postcard, they say something about the Pustaha, and it is a little bit strong, but it is already translated in the Dutch and in English. It is written by Amang Wilson Silain. He is one of the Singamangaraja Forum. It is like a group of the last, they believe as king in North Sumatra, especially in Batak Toba. One of his like the first one, like clarify the real history of the Batak War, the Batak Orlog, by returning the ancient manuscript of Batak, is the Pustaha, which were brought or taken by the Dutch from Tanah Batak, the Batak land. This is actually one of the inspiration why we really need to know or want to know about the Pustaha, because as Japanese, of course, we cannot write or read the Batak scripts, but people in Batak, they now disconnect with their source of tradition, because they have the tradition also in writing, especially it's called in book of Pustaha. And when Sadia tried to invite us with the project, and then she also has the connection with the museums in Europe. When she tried to propose one of the Pustaha, it is very difficult for us to get the access, especially because of we cannot accept any information or any photo about that, so we can share with the people of the, with the we cannot share the photo of the content of the Pustaha with the friends in North Sumatra who can read the Pustaha. And yeah, that's why then we back in the video, like the video is like also a traditional thing we used to do in the medicines, like coining, and then like we call it also cura, and also in acupuncture. It is for me myself. It is like a part of way. This is connected in our ancestors' daily life in medicinal practice, because yeah, this is like very for me myself is like a I can connect it with my ancestor when I do medicine with the traditional thing, like when we also make the traditional herbs liquid from what we call it jamu. It's like a liquid from herbs. It is very special for us as it is also part of our tradition. It means I myself do not alienate it from my root of ancestor. When because of colonization, maybe we are lured or disconnected with the ancestor, but the oral tradition, especially in medicine, is still continue until now. This is one of my perspectives about the video.
Do you see any continuation with your work with the Batak tribe and the knowledge that can be shared or recovered there? How do you see that, or how do you see your role? Geger, go ahead.
Okay, actually, like with our project with the community in North Sumatra, we really hope that in the future we have the opportunity to continue our project about North Sumatra, and especially with the community, as we already study many things about there since 2016 and 2017 in the field study, even in the library study. For us, we have to bring back our gain or information we got from the oral history or from the community we got about the history of their ancestor. What it was be presented in Europalia, and it is our responsibility to bring back, because if we just taken back the informations and we don't have any responsibility to bring back the gain or the data on the information we gain, it's also part of colonization for us, for me especially. So by bringing back this, the information we gain from the people or from the community there, it's also kind of like equality. It means we didn't only take back information, but we also share our data we collected from them, or maybe with kind of a discussion or a seminar, sharing knowledge, what we gain, or even maybe we can also make a replica of, for example, artifact what we saw in the museum in the Europe. If we don't have any chance to bring back or to borrow the artifact from the Europe to be exhibited or to be shown to the community, maybe we can make a replica with the permission from the museum, because it is part of the responsibility for the information when we have the residency in the museum at that time in Brownvik Museum in Arnhem. and also in Antwerp, there are many like collective or artifact from there, and yeah, it is also part of like a feedback of information. Because for me, it is equality of sharing of knowledge. Even unfortunately, we cannot bring like the information of any Pustaha because it is not easy. I mean, it is need a very like a curatorial thing because it is like a very valuable things, and we cannot just share like in the social media or something, but it's very difficult to handle that kind of article.
Thank you for your generous answer, and it is clear that you have an important role here as a collective and as citizens, activists, to recover this important, invaluable knowledge. I think, that was our last question already. It went very quick. So thank you so much for joining us today. Geger, Sita, Timbil is out of the picture or out of the screen. Thank you for your generosity and your perspectives. And I'm sure everybody who is watching this is very keen to support you in any way they can, including myself. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.